Hello. Is this thing on? Hi. Hey, gang. Oh, gang, it's early. I don't usually see you guys this early in the day. What is going on? And you can see like the light from the window reflecting in my glasses. It's weird. Uh happy happy inauguration day, everyone. Everyone excited? Everyone raring to go? Yeah, I know. I understand. It's going to be a rough one, gang. It's going to be a rough one. We got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, we have the inauguration ceremony coming up. We're going to watch that live if we can. I'm looking for a place to do that relatively safely. If you have links or if you have suggestions, please. I'm planning on going with C-SPAN if I can. But again, we're going to work on it. We're going to figure it out. We still got about an hour before we're going to tune into that. But there's a lot to discuss. We are going to need to talk about some of the executive orders that Trump is planning to pass day one. At least what he signaled he would do. We also got to talk about some of the pardons Biden has done today. I think it was today. It might have been last night or yesterday. But we're going to talk about those too. Fun times, right? Another new account, $5. Well, that's what we said. We're going to talk about that. Another new account, $5 says, I don't want to hear a word, not one word, if Trump pardons anyone after Biden pardoned that traitor Milei. Miley? Milei? I don't know how to say that. But, well, that's what we're going to discuss. Not good for the conspiracy theorists out there. It's not going to help it, right? But, again, we're going to go over it. And then we're going to just talk about, like, the response. And what I want to discuss is, like, as an American who didn't vote for Trump, who doesn't like Trump, to be clear, who thinks Trump's not going to be good for this country, what is the proper response to this? Right? AOC isn't going to the inauguration, right? There's a few other politicians that are not attending the inauguration. And is that the proper response? I think it could be. It depends. It doesn't bother me much either way, to be honest with you, right? But there is a discussion to be had about how do we deal with the next 4 years, right? How do we deal as a party that is out of power? What do you do when you don't have the Senate, you don't have the House, you don't have the executive? Like, how do you exercise the will of the people in your constituency, in your area? How do you represent them properly? And how do we as rank and file Democrats, right? Like, what can we do to, if we want things done that, like, things that we want done, if we want to accomplish anything in the next 4 years, to what degree do we work with Republicans? Like, there are two schools of thought here. There are some people who want everything to fail. They just do. They're like, if everything fails, we can get into power in the next 2 to 4 years, right? If Trump fucks up and is incompetent and just runs everything into the ground, then in 2 years we'll get the House and Senate back, and then in 4 years we'll get the executive branch back. That's the way of thinking. So in this way of thinking, you just fold your arms, dig in your heels, and watch and do nothing. The problem with that is that, depending on how it fails, has huge ramifications for people's lives, right? Like, it really sucks for America. It does, for everyone, not just those who voted for Trump, right? It's going to suck for everyone. And we don't want that. And especially if we fail on the global stage, that's those failures are going to be felt for years, decades to come. So is that the proper response? I don't think so. I don't think that's a proper way to go about the next 4 years. I don't like Trump, but I don't want America to fail. Does that make sense? Jamie Hayes says early stream based. I guess I can watch you live for the first time. Let's go. Yeah, it's we're gonna cover the inauguration live. LaFrosty, nice to see you. Nang Ong, Keto Burrito. Welcome to the show. Who'd I miss? Lactoid. Hi. Lactoid, are you available to come on and give us like the righty perspective today? I wouldn't mind having you in and commentating a little bit. That'd be nice. And I trust you not to be crazy, so that's great. Audacity. Hello, Funky Bunch. Hi. Vestman says Pax Americana was fun while it lasted. Fair enough. You're working today on this day, the day of your daddy getting put back in the White House? What's going on? You're not going to take off for daddy? That's weird, by the way, that people call him daddy. Have you guys noticed this? This is like a Twitter thing that I've seen. A lot of Republicans are like, daddy's home, daddy's back. Like, that's odd. I don't know. It's a little weird. But you know what? I don't kink shame. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I don't know. People got weird tastes. I don't get it, but it is what it is. I don't think it's that important. But let's talk a little bit, I guess, first and foremost, about some of these pardons, okay? Let me go into what I saw of this. Give me a second. Let me show you guys. You guys can read along. Yes, and he did it today. I am exercising my authority under the Constitution to pardon General Mark A. Milley, Dr. Anthony S. Fauci, the members of Congress and staff who served on the Select Committee, and the Select Committee, I'm assuming, is the January 6th committee, and the U.S. Capitol and D.C. Metropolitan Police officers who testified before the Select Committee. What do we think of this, gang? What are our thoughts here on these blanket pardons? I know that this was a debate going in internally among the Democrats. Is like, is this the proper way to handle this? Because there was fear, and I think it is a reasonable fear that Fauci, the Select Committee, the people who testified in the Select Committee, and Milley are going to be subject to political persecution through the law. That is a reasonable fear to have based on the statements made by those people that Trump is putting into the positions of power here, right? But is this the proper way to handle it? Because my issue with these pardons and my fear with these pardons, and again, I'm not saying that these are good or bad. I'm torn on them. My issue here is that this is going to feed into a narrative that the deep state is protecting these people, and if you're pardoned, you must have done something wrong. That's what, like, a lot of people just think. If you receive a pardon, it's because you've done something wrong. And so it feeds into this narrative that these people did something wrong. And the only reason they needed to be pardoned was because they had done something illegal or something like that. And these people, like the Select Committee, did nothing wrong. They did nothing illegal. So it muddies the waters, it confuses people, and it makes the Democrats now have to ask the question, right, when this comes up. When people are saying, well, the illegal Select Committee and their illegal actions, and when I say, what, they didn't do anything illegal, the response was, the question that will be asked to me is like, well, why were they pardoned then? And that, it has an answer, right? The answer is because Trump and his team signaled that they're going to politically persecute these guys and use the law and lawfare against these guys. Fair. But it doesn't, I don't know, it just makes it harder. Does that make sense? It makes it harder to do this, to deal with. Sorry, I'm a little off. I got up like not an hour ago. So excuse me if I'm a little low energy, at least at first here. And you're right. Average Debate Enjoyer says what it does is open the door for the GOP to do the same. And yes, Not that they needed that door open, mind you, but it does grease the wheels a little bit. It normalizes this kind of thing. Everyone starts pardoning everyone in their administration because the idea is that the next administration is just going to prosecute them, right? And use the law against them. And I don't think that's a good world, right? I don't think that's a good world to kind of live in. It's not a good spot to kind of be in. It's really bad. Dwight Baldwin says preemptive pardons will now be the norm. Yeah. Trojan Star says, I've seen maggots frothing at the mouth to try and convict the officer who shot Babbitt. That's insane. Well, yeah, that's the thing, is there are legit concerns that the law is going to be used as a weapon against these people, right? Especially Fauci and the Select Committee, right? Absolutely. If some Republicans, the rank and file, had their way, they would be strung up. I'm not kidding, right? Like, when we talk about like wanting to use lawfare, it's always been wild to me that the Republicans are accusing Democrats of doing this, when all my life that's all Republicans have done, from the Clintons, especially with the Clintons, right? Like, I remember being a teen, right, and during the Clinton administration, and just watching. Every day was a new lawsuit, a new angle to try to prosecute someone who was connected to Clinton. Like, everything was just constantly attack that man. And then his wife afterwards, right? The Benghazi hearings and all that, right? Just going again and again and again and again. And it was nonstop. So, yes, it was always kind of like eyebrow raising when they were like, well, Biden's using lawfare. I'm like, is he? Because, bros, you started this shit. You've been doing this shit the whole time. Like, and now it's coming back on you and you're mad? You normalized this. This is your playbook. But anyway, the problem with this whole back and forth thing is it becomes a back and forth thing. Someone needs to stop it. Someone needs to say, hey, we're not doing that shit anymore. And I worry that these pardons play into the narrative. That's all. Again, I'm not here to say the pardons are good or bad. I don't know yet. I'd have to think about it. But that's my fear with the pardons. My fear with the pardons, especially the Select Committee and the people who testify in the Select Committee, is that it will be used as a way to build a narrative and to reinforce a narrative that says, hey, these people did something wrong. And I don't think they did anything wrong. Rizius says, when do Republicans care about if people are guilty or not? Smokey D. Bandit says Clintons did earn some of that, don't you think? Especially Benghazi. Look, I'm not here to defend the Clintons, right? Bill Clinton did lie about the Monica Lewinsky stuff, and that was inappropriate, right? But like, there's just so much extra that everyone does in these situations, right? So much extra that is unnecessary, unneeded, and frankly damaging to America. If we wonder how did we get to where we are now, we have to look at the behavior of both parties and the American people, frankly. And the fact that we keep electing people who do this is a ding against us. Because here's the thing, we get the electors that we elect, right? Like, we get the representatives that we choose. We vote for them, right? And the majority of people vote for the people who are in office who behave in certain ways, and we reward that behavior. We reward this bad acting. We do. Prussian Menace says, not enough room to comment here. I sent you a DM saying my piece, but I think the pardons are finally a step in the right direction of tactics for pushing back against the Trumpster side. Sell me on that. You sent me a DM? Let me see if I have it here. Give me a second. A moment. You have to. Do you mind if I read your DM on stream? Menace, Prussian Menace. Or should I just read it to myself and then comment? What do you think? Like, go ahead. Okay, thank you for the permission. You have to understand that people who believe that they believe, you have to understand that the people who believe what they believe already believe it. Yes, that's true. The point is to ensure that others in the position of those pardons today know that we shall go the distance to ensure that they are protected when they do the right thing. We can no longer hope Trumpsters to follow norms. We must take proactive action to ensure they cannot do what they wish, and what they wish is to punish everyone and anyone who undermines them. It's a bad world to live in, but we did not create this world. We're the ones that have to fix it. And well, that last is what I have issue with. Like, will this fix it, or will this make it worse? Because this idea that people believe what they already believe, I don't buy it, because there are people who have suspicions and who are giving benefits of the doubt, right? Who just don't understand. And I think that this pushes them one way or another. What we got to realize is the elections in America, right? A lot of this is done on the margins, right? So you have the core center support groups of each party, but then you have the margins, and these margins are squishy in ways that you would find weird. That doesn't seem to make sense when you look at it objectively, but it plays out that way. And these squishy kind of margins don't really know what they believe, and they rely on these narratives in a lot of cases to kind of push them one way or another. And again, I don't know if that will be the case, that will push that narrative, or if, like you said, it would set a signal that we're willing to protect those who engage in these. I don't know. I'm just saying it's not as clear cut as all that. Does that make sense? Another new account says, yeah, Trumpsters were all about punishing. That's why Hillary is in jail. Oh, wait. If they could, they would. Hold on. Another new account. If you think for 1 second that Republicans, if they could have jailed Clinton, wouldn't have jailed Clinton, they would absolutely have done it, and they would have done it with glee. They would have done it with glee. It would be crazy. So, what do we think of the executive orders that Trump has signaled on day one that he will push? So, according to okay, gang, bear with me. According to Charlie Kirk, so grain of salt, huge grain of salt. Please, please, please don't come at me, okay? According to Charlie Kirk, Trump has signaled that on day one, he will sign an executive order to end birthright citizenship. What are our thoughts on this, gang? If that's true, and again, huge grain of salt based on the source, I'm not buying it 100%, okay? Huge grain of salt here. If that's the case, it's a problem. That's a huge problem. That's directly, as Lactoid said, directly antithetical to the Constitution, because it will be blocked immediately by SCOTUS. But the fact that he wants to do that and is trying to do that is problematic to me. It's a problem. I have a problem with someone who wants to directly, like, knowingly contradict and upend the Constitution like that, or try to. I have a huge issue with that, personally. And I think it signals a just disregard for our Constitution, that he's willing to kind of do these things. Again, day one, executive order, just as much as he can get away with, right? There's been talk about deportation rates on day one. There's been talk about pardoning of the January 6th people. Look, the pardoning, I don't have Look, I don't like it. I don't think it's good. I don't think they should be pardoned, but I have much less of a problem with that because it is within the Constitution, right? Than I do with a day one executive order ending birthright citizenship. Huge issue with that. Smokey D. Bandit says all for it. Just because you pop out on American soil doesn't make you American. It actually does, though, right? Like, literally, that's what it does. We have an amendment in the Constitution. I believe it's the 14th. Let me bring that up for you because maybe we need to read it together, gang. Bim, bim, bim. Okay, let's read the 14th Amendment of the Constitution just so we're all on the same page here. Okay. 14th Amendment, Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections of the law. Of the laws. Sorry, I'll get it exact for these things. Again, it's pretty clear. Yes, you are an American citizen if you're born here. That's what being America means. It's according to the Constitution. If you were born in America, you are an American citizen. As long as you're not a diplomat's son, right? Because there's two clauses here, right? Born or naturalized, and the second clause is subject to the jurisdiction thereof. The only group that isn't subject to the jurisdiction of the laws of the land are diplomats and their families, right? They got diplomatic immunity. They have special status. So if you are a diplomat's son and you were born in America, you don't count as an American citizen. Just what it is. But everyone else is. You may not like this. You may not like this part of the Constitution, and that's fine, but there is a process to go through the Constitution to change it. And an executive order isn't that. An executive order cannot override the Constitution. Average debate enjoyer, you keep saying this is an interpretation. This is a plain fucking text reading. All persons born in the United States are citizens of the United States. It's simple. All persons born in the United States are citizens of the United States. It's not subject to interpretation. It's fucking clear. It's there in black and white in the text. It's just true. Why are you fighting this? Like, if you don't think that's the case, your reading comprehension levels are woefully inadequate for the task. I don't understand, right? Like, you can't. Look, I get it that you were yelling at me that they made a ruling about this in 1898. You know why they made this interpretation? Because it's there in the text. There is no other interpretation. Investment says if you're born here and they can jail you, you're a citizen. Correct. Correct. That is the truth. If you, Kazi says, so you sneak in, shit out a baby and get to stay? Why? Why do you get to stay? You can argue that they shouldn't get to stay because having a child here doesn't make you a citizen. Getting pregnant and giving birth here doesn't make you a citizen. It makes your kid a citizen, but it doesn't make you a citizen. So you can argue that people who have given birth here should be deported, and that's fine. I mean, I disagree, but it's not unconstitutional, right? There's a difference here, right? And here's the thing, and here's what bothers me about this, is that there's so many people who want to punish others so bad, punish illegal immigrants so bad, that they're willing to violate the Constitution to do it. That's a very un-American thing, right? it makes you less of an American, conceptually, right? It makes you, in spirit, less American. Like an American, a proper American, reveres the Constitution. They can have some issues with it, but they revere the process. This is kind of what makes us a country great. Our country great. I don't know. Ravid Wombat says the child gets to stay, the parents have to leave. You could argue that. Average Debate Enjoyer says this is just getting silly. If you want to change the Second Amendment, you are an American. If you want to violate the Second Amendment without changing it, you are. Yeah. If you want to change the 14th Amendment, go right ahead. There's a process to do that. Here's the thing. Changing the Constitution is part of the Constitution, right? That is something you can do according to the Constitution of the United States. You can change it. But there's a process to do that. This is one of the reasons I had a problem with Biden. I had a problem when Biden is trying to push this 28th Amendment thing. You guys hear about that? The Equal Rights Amendment, Equal Rights Act or whatever. Biden and a few top Dems, Harris, a couple others, are just pretending that this is a constitutional amendment now that's been ratified. It's not. It didn't go through the process. And so it's not an amendment to the Constitution. Again, I would have no problem if he said, I want this to be amended and ratified and put into the Constitution. I would have no problem with that because I don't have an issue with the Equal Rights Amendment or Equal Rights Act. It's fine. The problem is that's not how you do it. You can't just speak it into being like that. You have to have a whole process, and it has to go through that process. And if it doesn't go through that process, it is not an amendment to the Constitution. It's not. When did we stop being process followers in America? And this is a thing that so many people are doing in America, right? They want to they think they see the process as an obstacle. They see the process as something that gets in the way, right? They want it done, and they want it done now, and they don't care, right? The process that they have to get it done. They don't care. And I think that kind of mindset, I have a huge issue with it. I am someone who believes in process. I think process is important. I think process helps us to, over a consistent basis, reach better outcomes, right? And when we violate those processes, right, when we seek to circumnavigate them, shortcut them, weaken them, I think it leads, again, consistently over time to worse outcomes. I think we could see this play out, right? When Harry Reid wanted to circumvent the process in order to get some nominees passed, has led directly to the state we are in today with the Supreme Court, right? And how it's a 6-3 Supreme Court. It's a huge issue, right? Process isn't perfect. There are problems on occasion. Process should sometimes be refined. I'm not setting in stone like these must never change. They are ordained from on high, blah, 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 blah. But I think that over the period of decades, centuries in some cases, we have found what generally works. And these are good things. And I would like it to keep working. So when we keep doing this thing where we have to kind of try to circumnavigate because we can't get it now, I think it weakens us as a nation. $2 from Zephyr Hash. The world must learn of our peaceful ways by force. Unironically, yes. Vestman says the Equal Rights Amendment was sent to the states for ratification in 1972. Virginia ratified it in 2020, years past the deadline set by Congress. Well, yeah. Average debate enjoyer, what are you wanting to talk to me about? Bring on the dictatorship? Hell yeah, brothers. Gang, what I need from you guys right now, because we're getting up on time, we're not there yet, but I want to watch this live. I want to watch the inauguration live with you. So if you have like a link to like C-SPAN or a live stream or something, please, by all means, send it to me, DM it to me, and I will put it up on screen and we can watch as we go. I think it will be interesting to see who attends. I think it will be interesting to see how it goes. So apparently, reportedly, it's too cold. Gang, did you guys know I was thinking of going and streaming this live at the inauguration? I considered it. I was like, you know what? I don't live that far. I could drive a couple hours, few hours. I could go there. I could interview people. I could live stream it. It would be fun, right? It would be interesting. But then I woke up and I saw like, well, I didn't wake up. I knew this was coming, right? But we have like 8 inches of snow outside and it's bitter, bitter, bitter cold. It's so cold that they're having to hold the inauguration instead of outside in the plaza. They're having to hold it in the rotunda. Space and capacity is going to be extremely limited. So, yeah. I was not going to go deal with the crowds, deal with the traffic, and the cold. No, thank you. I am not a polar bear. We don't do that here on Wick TV. We prioritize Wick's comfort. That's what we do. Trojan Star says it's quote unquote too cold, but in my experience, a lot of conservatives are running on the premise of credible threats forced it inside. I don't know if anyone else has had that experience. I have not heard of any credible threats. I'm not aware of any. But this was something they were reporting on days ago when we had the weather report, right? And, it's going to be freezing cold. So they were like, let's put it in the rotunda. This isn't like news. This isn't like something that we didn't know. I don't know. What's with conspiracy brains now anyway, right? Like, why are we all being conspiracy brained? I don't know. I don't understand. Okay, average debate enjoyer, I'm going to bring you on, but if you're stupid, I'm going to kick you. Okay? $5 from Zephyr Hash. Yet again, Trump has denied the billions in audience for the establishment. This won't cause a barrage of tweets in any way, surely. Okay, buddy. What do you want?
First and foremost, being stupid is not something I'm capable of.
Hmm?
This interpretation argument, I'm trying to lay it out for you. You're only reading like half the things. I just wanted to get it out in a full. So there's different ways that they can go about to challenge the 14th Amendment, and one of them is this particular route. That interpretation was from that 1898 case that I linked to. Subject to the jurisdiction thereof is what they're going to challenge. There's already 8 years of legal arguments. Like, this is just a perception gap issue. What they're arguing is subject to the jurisdiction thereof means that if you are an illegal immigrant or the child of an illegal immigrant, you are breaking laws every day by being here, by functioning in society, by taking federal, not state.
Hold on. If you're born here, what laws have you broken?
You are not registered properly as a child. I'm pretty sure there are issues. I'd have to look that up directly. I more have the answers for like an
because they didn't cross the Rio Grande, right?
Yeah.
They didn't violate any kind of law when it comes to immigration. They were born here. They, again, as the current law is interpreted, because again, that's what it says in the Constitution, they're citizens. They've done nothing wrong.
I mean, there is a criteria for citizenship, but this is the legal challenge. All I'm doing is trying to relay to you the argument of which they're challenging. The way that they're doing it is perfectly fine. The Biden administration used this exact same route.
Do you think it's a perfectly fine thing to make an executive order to end birthright citizenship?
Yes, because the executive order itself is going to immediately get challenged and checked. All this does is start the process to run it up to SCOTUS to hope that SCOTUS interprets the amendment differently than what they did in the 1898. That's the hope. It's not even for sure, but it's perfectly fine to do to
Do you think it would
interpret.
be okay if I was president, I made an executive order that made it legal to sexually assault you? And the only reason I'm doing that is to try to get maybe a different interpretation, right? But I make an executive order to it's legal to sexually assault Tyler. Would that be okay just because I wanted to get an interpretation done? Would that be something that was good to do?
I don't think so, because you're bringing another party into that
Really?
degree.
So people might be affected by my executive order?
Not that
Interesting.
you're affected. I think that a third party being
A
affected. Like
third
if you made
party,
it,
much like people who were, again, born of illegal immigrant parents into the United States, they
I
might be
wouldn't.
affected by this?
I wouldn't say. I'd say they're the direct party in question here. I wouldn't say they're a third party. I'd say if they're the
Okay.
ones that we're saying have citizenship from the, it was at 14 point B, is it, if I'm not mistaken, then we're talking about them directly. I wouldn't say they're indirect at all, but they have not been, their parents did not follow the jurisdiction to have them
Sure.
born
And if
here.
you want to deport their parents, have at it, buddy. Right? Like I'm not like saying that it's unconstitutional to deport their parents because their parents obviously aren't citizens, not by the again amendment that we have and the interpretation thereof. But their children absolutely are. Again, it's a plain text reading. It's very clear. There's no real room for interpretation here because it's just simple. I'll read it again. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States.
The people
It's
that say
it's
that you need a
easy.
militia to own a gun make the exact same argument that it's plain text and there's no interpretation. They know they're right, and SCOTUS is just corrupt and bought by the big gun companies. Like, there are ways to interpret this differently, and that is what they're going to challenge. I'm just telling you, the process in which they're doing it is something that every presidential administration does. They
Did your
challenge interpretations.
smoke alarm just beep?
Oh yeah, the battery just ran out this morning. It woke me up this morning. I'm gonna get it. Don't worry, Connor. Connor, please don't come after me.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it just happened today. Please, go God. It'll be fixed before the debate tonight.
Why don't you fix it before you try to get rid of the birthright citizenship thing? Maybe take care of that before you
I'm not taking a
mess with
position
this.
on it either way. I'm just saying the way that the president's doing this, they have the right to interpret laws a certain way. Biden did it with his parole authority. What can happen is the SCOTUS can check it or the states can sue. There are mechanisms to deal with this, but it is part of the process. So when Biden interpreted parole authority in a way that no other presidential administration had,
It
he was
beeped
sued by
again.
a
That's
few
all I can
states.
hear now. I can no longer listen to you because I'm listening for this beep, and every time it happens, I stop listening
Oh
to
my
you.
God.
Fix it. Fix your
Okay,
shit.
I'm just telling you, it's perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong. Just let him try
Okay.
it.
Okay. I'll see you later, buddy.
Yep, take
See you
her.
tonight. It just kept happening. No Cal Mike says, I'm off work today, yet still up early and here. What do I win? You win a stream with me, little Mikey. Okay. You are the good Mike, okay? We fought the bad Mike over the weekend. You are the good Mike. You are like Mike from PA if he was a good person, okay? So that's who you are, Mike. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. I still can't, I don't know. I'm still bothered that he took swipes at me like that. Whatever. We covered that yesterday. What? Okay, here's something I also want to talk about. And it is a little related to the good Mike. Yes, you are the good Mike. It is related to the TikTok ban stuff. And also how Democrats should behave and react and all these things. So give me a second. I made a tweet yesterday, or maybe the day before, one of the two, and I think it's interesting how this is being responded to by people who are on my side, quote unquote. Let me get it. Here it is. Easy. So I made a tweet, and something I just think is true. I just think this is true. And the reason I'm bringing this up now is because this is indicative of different schools of thought when it comes to how do we deal with President Trump? How do we deal with the Trump administration? How do we deal with when Republicans do something or when a thing happens? What should our response be? How should we engage with it? This is a good example of different schools of thought here, and I thought it helpful to kind of lay it out and use this example and show you. So without further ado, so if you're all not familiar, TikTok was banned for like 10 hours or something like that, and then it got unbanned. And TikTok itself has been really pushing the Trump stuff. Okay. This is the message, right? Thanks for your patience and support. And this is from TikTok. Like, so millions of people, when they logged back into TikTok, they saw this. Welcome back. Thank you for your patience and support as a result of President Trump's efforts. TikTok is back in the U.S. You can continue to create, share, and discover all the things you love on TikTok. Cool. Great. Hold on one second, please. Okay. Sorry about that. I made the comment that this is going to hurt Democrats. Well, I'll just read you what I wrote. This will not help Democrats. Pretty easy optics W for Trump for the youth vote. That said, remember that Trump was the guy pushing for this in the first place, initially. He's just an opportunist and will turn on a dime if it benefits him. Everything I said in this tweet is just true, okay? It's just true that this won't help the Democrats. It won't. It was an optics win for W, a W for him optically. And for the youth vote, it's going to make them more inclined towards Trump. It just will. It just will, right? I also said that, again, initially, President Trump pushed for this. This is what he wanted, right? He wanted TikTok to be banned, and he pushed for it for a couple of years. It wasn't only until recently when he changed his tune, okay? So all these things are just true. But I'm getting people coming at me, okay? Let's read some of these comments. Here's one. Wick, he started the ban talks in the first place. Yeah, no shit! What do you think I just said in my tweet? Remember, Trump was the guy pushing for this in the first place. And I said that. Yes, that's true. And I've gotten DMs. I've gotten other people saying I'm pushing a narrative. There's some quotes on this too. Let me read some of the quotes. Right? Here we go. This was a bipartisan from Proud Liberal. This was a bipartisan effort to ban TikTok, but somehow Republicans get to convince everyone it was all Democrats. You aren't helping by parroting the same narrative. I'm not parroting a narrative. What is this? It's this style of media that won't help Democrats, but I'm beginning to think that's the point. Brother, I am simply reporting the facts of the matter. What is this? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to lie? And that's the thing. They do. They want me to lie. They want me to lie in order to admit truth or to spin things, right? In order to make Democrats look good. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just going to report on the truth. I think the truth overall makes the Democrats look good and the Republicans look bad. I think that in most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, if we simply report on the facts of the matter, right, people will come to the conclusion all on their own. What happens, though, when we do this kind of activist journalism, right, this like activist push that a lot of people are screaming for journalists to do, of you have to make the Democrats look good and Republicans look bad. You have to, right? I think that this kind of push is one of the reasons that no one trusts the media anymore. And it makes it harder for when we do report the facts of the matter, right? It makes it much harder for people to understand, right, that we're just reporting the facts that matter. They think we're being activists because so many people have wanted us to be activists, and unfortunately for us, there's been journalists who've tried that. Yes, kinetic pause. It makes it harder. It makes it harder for us to just get people to believe us when we just say the facts. So, one, please read my tweet all the way through before you yell at me for not saying something that I legit said in the tweet. It wasn't that long of a tweet. It wasn't hard to read. It was three kind of statements, and in the third statement, I said what people are mad at me for not saying or overlooking or whatever. And two, it's not pushing a narrative, and I'm not some operative trying to push a narrative to hurt Democrats. When I say things that are just correct, it's just correct that this will hurt Democrats. It's just correct. Do I think it should? Do I think that it's fair? No, because as I said, I think Trump pushed this. Republicans voted for it too, right? But the way that this is being framed by TikTok is going to damage us with the youth vote. It just is. And rather than bury our heads in the sand like an ostrich and scream about how it's unfair, we just have to acknowledge that this is the case. In this instance, the way this was handled by TikTok, putting these messages on screen, right? And how Trump has grasped that and used it for an easy optics win is going to be an obstacle towards us when we want to get out the youth vote and convince them to vote for our candidates. It is. Should it be? No. Will it be? Yes. And it's not verboten to report on that, to tweet about that, or to talk about that. And what is a problem, and what exacerbates the problem, is when you come after people and try to paint them as operatives of the enemy for just stating facts. Do you understand, dear viewer? Do you get it? Conservative liberalism says this is wild. All it took was one early stream for Wick to come out to say he hates Democrats. Oh my God, I hate you all. I hate you all. But yeah, we have a trust problem. The Democrat Party has a trust problem. It has a trust problem. The voters don't trust us. They don't trust the media sources that are friendly towards Democrats. And one of the reasons they don't trust us is because people do this thing where if we say anything that isn't like carefully crafted messaging, and we simply just report the state of being, we are seen as harmful, and we are told we are being harmful. My thesis statement here is that the people who are wagging their finger at folks like me for just stating the truth have done far more damage to the Democratic Party than I ever could. You are, dear viewer, not you, dear viewer, but you are Trump's strongest soldiers, okay? We're going to talk about that a little later today. We do have a panel planned at 6 Eastern, right? And at 6 Eastern, we're going to talk with Average Debate and Jordan Sonsel. We're talking about why are moderates fleeing the Democratic Party? What are moderates being pushed away from the Democratic Party, and why? And we're going to talk a little bit about that. It should be a fun discussion. I hope you guys enjoy it. But at this point, right? Beerwater, you said you were going to come and join me today, and you're a right-leaning person. Lactoid's working, unfortunately. So you, dear right-leaning person, jump backstage and I'll pull you in, and you can give us kind of like the right-leaning perspective on today. What I want to talk about today, when we watch the inauguration, right? What does this mean for the country? Like, what do we expect Trump to be doing in his first 100 days? How will that impact America for good and ill? What should the response from the different party members be? Like, I would be curious from the Republican perspective, right? I would be curious from the Republican perspective on whether they think an executive order to end birthright citizenship is a good idea politically for you guys. Like, should Republicans come out and condemn this? I think it should. I think they should. But I'm not a Republican, obviously, so I don't know what you guys think. What is the Republican rank and file consensus on this? Serenaded Swan says, why should they? Because it's anti-constitutional, as we just saw. And they purport to be the party of the Constitution. Beerwater says, I haven't met a Republican that agrees with it. Well, they're out there. Trump's trying to do it. I don't know what to tell you. Well, I am trying to find, gang, a stream to use. Let me see if I can find TV networks. Give me a second. Here. You must log in with your television provider. I don't want to log in with my television provider. I just want to watch the goddamn broadcast. Do you guys have a link to a YouTube stream or something we can watch? Yeah, I'm trying to log into C-SPAN, but I don't want to sign in with my TV provider or whatever. You sent AP into Discord? Let me check.
Wix
gives you the here, let me mute the. Okay. Yeah, gang. We're gonna watch it a little bit. Here, let me figure out a way because I also want to see what you guys have to say. Give me a second to adjust my settings here, my formats here. Here, let me put this over here. Smokey D. Bandit, I thought you said it was according to Charlie Kirk. Yeah, it's according to Charlie Kirk. I'm assuming Charlie, again, this might be an incorrect assumption, but let's assume for the sake of discussion that Charlie Kirk is correct about this. Again, it might be a silly assumption to make, but here we go. Wick dodging the TV license. Shh. They're all just clapping, things like that. Here. Let me adjust. Oh, no, wrong one. Doop, doop, doop. I don't want to see their chat. And then we can maybe make it a little bigger. Sound good? Cool, we're good. So we can see, again, it's inside, right? And the justices are coming. We have I think it will be interesting to see who attends and who doesn't. And that'll be interesting. Right now, we're just talking like again about what this is gonna mean and things like that. But give me 1 second because I need to adjust one more thing. I'm trying to set it up because I have two monitors, gang. And one of the monitors I use for my Discord, right? So I'm trying to set it up so when I switch screens, I don't accidentally show you all my Discord messages. That's all I'm doing right now. So please bear with me, and we'll get this done, okay? $10 from the Witch King. Agree to an extent, but you even said yesterday you think the app is brain rot and you will not go on it. How do you know how people on the app will see it? You always say step out of your echo chamber. I could be wrong, Witch King. I could be wrong about this. I don't think I am, because while I don't need to, yes, you're correct. I am not on TikTok. That is true. I know a lot of people who are, and I am familiar with the effects of TikTok on different people and how people who are on TikTok do see it. Is there anyone here? Let me ask this. Is there anyone right now in my chat? Because I'm DMing people, like full disclosure, I'm DMing people and trying to. I'm looking for someone who's excited to have Trump back in office. That's what I'm doing now. I'm looking for someone who is excited that Trump is going to come in office to kind of counterbalance my thoughts here. That's what I'm looking for. So if that's you, if you are in the chat and you're like, wow, today's a great day, because full disclosure, I am not excited. I am not excited for Trump to come back. I'm just not. I think it's going to be bad for America. But if you are someone who is excited for Trump to be here and you want to sound off a little bit, jump backstage in the Discord. I think another new account. I think you can see the Discord, right? At least I know you don't have some access because you're fighting with my mods or something. But if you are in my Discord, jump backstage. It's at the top, and I'll pull you in, and you can kind of give me your perspective here. I'm just looking at the various people. I'm trying to look to see who's attending Trump, the Trump inauguration, and who's not. Again, I think it'll be interesting to see. Give me 1 second. My dog's crying a little bit. My dog loves the snow, but it's a little too cold for her. And so she romped in it a bit this morning before I went live. But I think I dried her off and things, but she wants to go outside, but she doesn't at the same time. So get Elon on, sure. Elon Musk, if you're watching me and you wanna come in and you wanna say hey, by all means. Show dog's relaxing. I'm not gonna bother her. She's relaxing over there. How do you think? What do you think that the main things that Trump? So what Trump has said he wants to do. Okay, let's look at a couple things. Right, no one's there yet. They're all just kind of standing around. I don't want to watch that too much, but we have it up when we need to check it. But I wanna just talk about a little bit about what Trump plans to do. Day one, first 100 days. Okay. And this is from an article in CNN. So keep that in mind. Immigration rates. Number one. Though there are a lot of chatter about this, and Trump has signaled that he wants to do this, that he is going to really crack down on immigration by sending in ICE agents and other agents into sanctuary cities and other places in order to detain and deport illegal immigrants. So that's one of the things that he has signaled that he wants to do. Another thing he has promised to do is he has promised to pardon the January 6th people, the rioters, the people who were arrested at January 6th and charged. He has promised to pardon those people. It will be interesting to see if he actually does that. He's also promised to implement tariffs. He's also promised and signaled that he's going to try to end the Ukraine war on day one. We'll see if he actually does that. Let's see. Trump is planning to issue dozens of executive actions, more than 100 just on day one, at least in his own telling, within his first week in office. Sources familiar with his plan told CNN, including those aimed at ramping up U.S. energy production, tightening border security, reeling in regulations and other top policy priorities, and, again, his TikTok ban stuff. He's going to really push on that. What do we think of this as, should this be his focus? Like, for those of you who voted for Trump, and I know I have a few in my audience, for those of you who voted for Trump, is this what you want his focus to be? Is he doing something that you find acceptable here? Again, this is why I want one of you to jump backstage if I can. I'm trying to bully someone into getting on, but I don't think they're going to. It'd be nice to have this guest, but I don't think she's coming. That's unfortunate. So Audacity says, yeah. Another new account, you should be able to jump backstage even with the quarantine role. What do you guys think of the thing he's done before office? Here, look, before we get to the positivity, let's do a little more negativity here. Let me say this. I think that what he is doing, Trump with the meme coins, do you guys hear about this? The DJT coins and then the Melania coin he has going. I think these are scams. I really do. I think it's distasteful. I think it's very gross what he's doing with these kind of rug pulls. I don't like it at all. But at the same time, if you are buying Trump Bitcoin, I mean, you get what you get. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you here. Like, if you are investing in this thinking you're going to make a lot of money, at this point, after all the different scams that have gone on over the years, like the Hawk Tua coin and all these, like, what are you doing, right? Like, you're just throwing your money away here. Dylan Bowser says, Wick going to be crying when the Trump coin becomes standard U.S. currency. Look, I guarantee you that's not going to be the case. Like, I will bet you $100 right now. That's not going to be the case. Okay. $100 right now on the table. Why aren't you able to see this? Hold on. Give me a second. I'm trying to fuck with this a little bit. Go to settings. What role do you have that is not able to see? How do I adjust that? I don't know. So wage gap, you're saying you can't see the backstage? Is this what you're saying? You should be able to. I wish I wasn't a boomer at this stuff. Because you should be able to see it. Even with the roles, you should be able to see backstage in the Discord. You should be able to jump on that. And I should be able to pull you in. I don't know why you aren't. Hold on, let me mute this. Did it hit 100? What is the DJ? What is the coin at right now? Let me see. What is the current value of $DJT? Oh, we can look. We can check it out. Here is DJT. Is what? Hold on. Is this that? No, this is the NASDAQ. Sorry, it's a different thing. Ignore this. Ignore this. Let's see. Where is it? How do we see the DJT Trump coin? Does anyone have a link to like the price charts or a graph we can look at? Is this it? I don't want to get the wrong one here. This looks like it. I think this is it. Here, do we have a 7-day rolling average here? Give me a second here. Oh, you can't even see it because my face is in the way. Hold on. Man, here, let me see if we can't adjust. Oh no, you can't see it. Because of how I set it up. Anyway, there's a spike here. Let me see if I can. Okay, there we can see. Right, there's a huge spike here. I think this is when it was released. I'm not sure. Or no, this was today. This was today. This morning, it shot up, and now it's kind of down. Yeah. See how it goes. This is the current state of things. Wick, you're making Kidology's Discord skills look better and better. Shush. Shh. Please. Please. I told you I'm a boomer in these things. Okay. Well, anyway. Good talk. I care. I don't want to. Here, let's go back to the thing. Exit page. Stop. No. The ad has given some of its gains back. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I don't think it's going to be good for people. I think people are going to lose a lot of money on this, and I fear for them. So this is a state of play in the inauguration. Do you like the early streams, gang? Do you like this early morning stream? Do you like when I cover live events like this? I hope you do. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I'm enjoying being with you guys. We're experiencing a moment of history together, gang. Okay? Me and you. We're experiencing it together. It's fun. It's enjoyable. Right? Everyone's just waiting. I did this a lot in the military. We would stand around waiting for someone to show up. It sucked. There's little Elon. You see Elon Musk? Oh. Are we going to see Lex Friedman? He said he was trying to get in. We'll see if we can see him. I'm not very good at recognizing faces, gang. And obviously the back of the heads, I can't really tell who's who. Elon gets a place behind the stage. Makes sense. He spent so much money and effort to get in there, right? Apple Dude was there. Sure beats your original plans. Fair enough. Oh, is he singing? Can we hear the song? Let's hear the song. Calling me to pay true to thee, I will be. Oh, America, no weeping, let there be no wounded heart. What is this song? Does anyone know what this song is? Till there I've never heard this song in my life. Oh, there's President Biden. At least president for the next 30 minutes. I'll miss Biden, honestly. I will. I think people are going to look back at Biden's presidency with fondness, honestly. Look, another new account. We have it good today. I'm gonna come back to you in a year, see how you feel. Okay? We'll reconnoiter then. We'll come back in a year, we'll see how you feel. This is kind of a bop. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know this song, but it's kind of a bop. What's the drummer doing? I don't know. This might be how it goes. Bro's getting into it though. He's going. What is this? I don't even know, right? Like, but I'm liking the song. I'm digging it. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Gang, if you know the song, link it to me, please. Please link me the song. I want to know. It's a good song. It's a good song. Oh, we got an ad. Wonderful. Ad. Okay, I don't care about you, ad. Bros, that was a bop. The song's done. Clap, clap, clap. Oh, screens are going down broadcasting this? Well, I will have it on the background, and when it's time, okay? When it's closer to time, we'll bring it on, okay? Right now, all that's happening is people are coming in. People are coming in the show, right? They're stopping in. They're saying hi. All of that, okay? That song, though, if you guys if you know what that song is or who sings it or anything, please link it to me. I'm very curious. I want to hear it. The dude, whoever was doing it, I don't know that guy's name, but 3 cheers. That brightened my mood. Like, I'm not in the best of moods today, gang. It's kind of like I'm feeling like it feels like a funeral today, to be honest with you. Okay. But damn, that was a bop. That was a bop. It was good. It was good shit. Okay, so I've been given permission to anonymously share this with you. Because I asked someone I know who was excited that Trump was going to become in office, okay? So this is what they have to say. And I'll just, again, it's an anonymous source. But this person is a Trump supporter, right? And they are excited for Trump to be in office. And I'll just read it to you, okay? I've got permission to do this. They want to be energy independent again. They want to see tax cuts. Department of Education and few others are cut. They're excited to see something happen to the people who tried to fuck up his first term with the Russian collusion hoax. Not because they want revenge, because they want something like that to never happen again. And justice for those harmed by the vaccines. So that is what the Trump supporters are excited for. At least one Trump supporter is excited for. Okay, and again, if you, your viewer, are a Trump supporter and are excited and want to tell me why you are excited, please, by all means, come on and say hi. Okay. Jump backstage. Let's see what else is going on, because there's some stuff going on here. Let's take a look. Oh, another song. We're going with the song. They just booed Hakeem
Ladies and
Jeffries?
gentlemen, the President of the United States,
Okay,
the Honorable
here we go.
Joseph R. Biden Jr., and Vice President of the United States, the Honorable Kamala Devi Harris.
Woo! I know this song. Hail to the Chief, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the Vice President-elect, the Executive Director for the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, Mr. Michael Wagner, Senate Deputy
They got this
Sergeant at
echo
Arms
because they're trying to stream
Jason
both the
Bell,
inside and the outside, I
House
guess.
Deputy Sergeant at Arms, Mr. Sean Keating.
Vice presidents should have a song too. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The pageantry gang.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President-elect of the United States, the Honorable J.D. Vance. The Vice President-elect of the United States.
There he is, gang. 20 more minutes. 20 more minutes, and they'll be sworn in. Can J.D. Vance do it? Do what? Specifically. Is this like the... Is this a vice president song? Do vice presidents get a song? And is this it? I don't actually know. It's fun. Okay, I'm having a good time with the bopping and the music. Okay. I wonder how warm it is in the rotunda versus outside. Oh, is he trying to talk? Is he trying to say something? No.
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the President-elect, the Staff Director for the Joint Congressional
Here we go.
Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, Elizabeth Farah. House Sergeant at Arms, the Honorable William P. McFarland. Senate Sergeant at Arms and Doorkeeper, the Honorable Jennifer A. Hemingway. Senate Majority Leader, the Honorable John Thune. And the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, House Democratic Leader, the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries. House Majority Leader, the Honorable Steve Scalise. Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Mike Johnson. Senate Democratic Leader, the Honorable Charles E. Schumer. Ranking Member of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Deb Fischer. And Chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah, the announcer's doing a good job. He's got it on lock. I think he's setting the right tone for a presidential thing. We'll see.
Ladies
saw
and
Waldo.
gentlemen, the President-elect of the United States, the Honorable Donald John Trump.
Donald John. Is that his middle name? John? I didn't know that, man. How did I not know that? I didn't know his middle name. Why would I know his middle name? It was always Donald J. Trump. I didn't know, and I didn't investigate. Why would I? You thought it was Jay? Fair enough. Here we go, gang. So the oath of a constitution is important, right? So I'm gonna, while they're clapping and stuff, I wanna actually talk to you guys. So give me a second, and I'll keep it a little low, so in case they start talking or he gives a speech, we can cut back to that. But I just wanted to kind of go over the oath of office, right? So the president is going to swear an oath.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
And this oath is important. It does matter. And I hope, I don't know if he will. I don't think he will, and I doubt he will. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope he takes his oath this time seriously to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. Like spy versus spy.
Please welcome the chairwoman of the Joint
Yeah, they're just announcing different people.
the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
One of my problems with again his. Oh, here we go. We're gonna get a speech.
Good morning, everyone.
Let's listen to the speech.
Welcome to the 60th presidential inauguration. Today, President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Vance will take their oaths of office, and we will witness the peaceful transfer of power at the heart of our democracy.
Yay, peaceful transfer of power. Woo! We can all cheer to that, right? We can clap peaceful transfers. Those are good. We want those.
For the past year, I've chaired the inaugural ceremony committee, which includes the leadership of Congress from both parties. We thank the committee and Capitol staff and law enforcement who worked so hard over the last year, and especially the last 3 days. You've done a beautiful job, and you have shown grace under pressure. Our theme this year is our enduring democracy. The presence of so many presidents and vice presidents here today is truly a testament to that endurance. We welcome President Biden and Dr. Biden. We welcome Vice President Harris and Doug Emhoff, President Obama, President Clinton and Secretary Clinton, President Bush and Laura Bush, Vice President Pence, Vice President Quayle and Marilyn Quayle. The justices of the United States Supreme Court are with us, all 9 of them I counted, and of course the Trump and Vance families. This ceremony marks what will soon be 250 years of our democracy. It is the moment when leaders, elevated by the will of the people, promise to be faithful to our Constitution, to cherish and defend it. It is the moment when they become, as we all should be, the guardians of our country.
That's an important line.
Through war and peace, through adversity and prosperity,
we all should be guardians of our country.
We hold this inauguration every 4 years, and today it falls on Martin Luther King Day. A further reminder that we must strive to uphold the values enshrined in our Constitution, the freedoms, the liberties, and, as is inscribed on the entrance of the United States Supreme Court, equal justice under law.
I want to talk about this after the ceremony, but this is important. Like, we all need to be guardians.
What makes this moment more than a passing ceremony
the country,
is all who are watching it across the country.
That's
the
us,
people of this nation.
That's us.
The ordinary
talk about
people
us.
doing extraordinary things.
Are we doing extraordinary
President
things
Kennedy,
today?
who at one point worked as a senator in this building and would often walk through this very rotunda, once said, "In a democracy, every citizen, regardless of interest in politics, holds office. Every one of us is in a position of responsibility."
True.
With
True.
that responsibility of citizenship comes an obligation not to seek out malice, as President Lincoln
True.
once reminded us, but to view others with a generosity of spirit,
True.
despite our differences. With that responsibility of leadership comes an obligation to stand our ground when we must and find common ground when we can. With everything swirling around us, the hot mess of division, it is on all of us, to quote an incredible songwriter who just happened to be born in my state, to ensure that our nation's democracy is our shelter from the storm. There's a reason this ceremony takes place at the
I don't
Capitol.
remember a singer saying
In
that.
other countries, it might be in a presidential palace or a gilded executive office building. Here, it is traditionally held at the Capitol, the People's House. It is a fitting reminder of the system of checks and balances that is the very foundation of our government, 3 equal branches of government. That is how, for nearly 250 years, our great American experiment, grounded in the rule of law, has endured. So, as we inaugurate a new president and vice president, let us remember that the power of those in this room comes from the people. The construction workers who build our country, the teachers and healthcare workers who nurture us, the troops defending our freedoms, and yes, the firefighters in Los Angeles putting themselves on the line for
Yay, people.
us.
Yay, people. Everyone's good. Everyone's awesome. Yay.
Our democracy's strength and grit.
I like the tone,
must
to be honest.
match
I really do. I'm not
theirs.
memeing. I like the
May
tone.
God bless our nation. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, they're switching out. So the tone that she's setting, and she used these words several times, that we are all guardians of America, right? We all have a responsibility. And one of the things that she said that I think is important, not to seek malice, right? And there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of hard feelings. There's going to be a lot of people. Oh, more speeches. Give me a second.
Endurance through the years is the ultimate test. To persevere through time is the truest measure of an idea, an institution, and a nation. Our founders wrote the Constitution so that America could withstand all the twists and turns of time. They wrote it to guide us and to preserve forever our right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But as much as the truths and principles enshrined in our Constitution remain the same, our democracy promises the American people the power to change, to chart their own destiny. That's the beauty. That is the importance of democracy. It allows the endurance, the permanence of a nation through change. It allows nations like our United States both to avoid the obstacles and to seize the opportunities God has placed before us, all while staying true to our founding principles. Today is our country's 60th inauguration
She's not as good
ceremony.
of a speaker as the last one.
Like all the
It's
others
fine.
before it, it is a
It's just-
celebration of our right to
It's
set
just
our
rote.
uniquely American course. The past several years have been trying at times for many, many Americans, and also for the nations of the free world that we humbly strive to lead. In November, Americans chose
Yeah,
again
Amy
to
Klobuchar, I
steer
know who
this
she was.
nation towards
This
greatness.
I don't know who this is.
The secure,
Who is this?
safe, and prosperous future that our founders envisioned for all of us. And today, we celebrate not only their decision to do so, but also the simple right and wisdom of a free people to make their own choice so that their nation might endure. And now, allow me to welcome Archbishop Timothy Dolan and Reverend Franklin Graham, who will deliver our invocation.
Okay.
Please rise.
This wasn't as good of a speech as Amy Klobuchar's speech. It felt forced. So now we get the prayer, I guess? I don't know.
Be still and know that I am God, supreme among the nations, supreme on the earth. Let us pray.
We're going to church, gang.
Remembering General George Washington on his knees at Valley Forge, recalling Abraham Lincoln at his second inaugural, with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Remembering General George Patton's instructions to his soldiers as they began the Battle of the Bulge 8 decades ago. Pray. Pray when fighting. Pray alone. Pray with others. Pray by night. Pray by day. Observing the birthday of the Reverend Martin Luther King, who warned, without God, our efforts turn to ashes.
Most Americans are religious, so I know a lot of you aren't, but most Americans are religious.
Citizens of this one nation under God,
so this is
humbled by our claim that
right?
in God we trust, gather indeed this Inauguration Day to pray for our President Donald J. Trump, his family, his advisors, his cabinet, his aspirations, his vice president, for the Lord's blessings upon Joseph Biden, for our men and women in uniform, for each other.
I like how he's praying for everyone here. He includes Biden,
this new
he includes
year,
Trump.
this Inauguration Day. We cannot err in relying upon that prayer from the Bible, upon which our president will soon place his hand in oath, as we make our own the supplications of King Solomon for wisdom as he began his governance. God of our fathers, in your wisdom you set man to govern your creatures, to govern in holiness and justice, to render justice with integrity. Give our leader wisdom,
Psychonauts
for
specifically.
he is your servant, aware of his own weakness and
Bro,
brevity
what would you guys
of
do
life.
if he name dropped us right
if
now?
wisdom
like,
which
all
comes
the
not
WIC
from
viewers.
you be not with him, he shall
We pray
be
for all
held
the
in
WIC
no
viewers.
esteem. Send
Okay. What if he did that?
wisdom
What would happen?
from heavens, that she may be with him, that he may know your designs. Please, God,
I'd lose
bless
my mind
America.
too. I'd be like, oh shit.
Please,
They're watching.
mend her every flaw. You are the God in whom we trust, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Pretty unassuming prayer. Pretty easy, right? Prayed for everyone. Good job, gang. We did it. Oh, here we go.
Mr. President, the last 4 years, there are times I'm sure you thought it was pretty dark. But look what God has done.
Is he praying or is
We
he
praise
talking
him
to
and give him
Trump?
glory.
No, I don't like this one as much. What's he doing? He's supposed to be giving an invocation, not
Let us
praying
pray.
to Trump.
Our Father and our God, thou hast said, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. As the prophet Daniel prayed, blessed be the name of God forever and ever. For wisdom and might are his. He changes the times and the seasons. He removes kings. He raises up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. Our Father, today, as President Donald J. Trump takes the oath of office once again, we come to say thank you, O Lord our God. Father, when Donald Trump's enemies thought he was down and out, you and you alone saved his life and raised him up with strength and power by your mighty hand. We pray for President Trump that you'll watch over, protect, guide, direct him. Give him your wisdom from your throne.
I don't like this
on
one.
high. We ask that you would bless
It
him
feels
and that our nation would be blessed
more
through him.
political than religious.
We
This is a
also ask
prayer,
that you
gang.
would
This
bless
is
and
supposed to
protect
be a
Melania
prayer.
as First Lady. We thank
The
you
first
for
one was great.
the
The first
beauty,
prayer was
the
good.
warmth and grace that she shows not only to this nation, but to the whole world. We thank you for Vice President-elect J.D. Vance and his wife Usha and their young family. May he be a strength to President Trump, to stand beside him, to hold up his arms like Aaron held up the arms of Moses in the midst of battle. The prophet Samuel reminded the people, it was you that brought them up from the land of Egypt. And he said, now stand still, that I may reason with you before the Lord. So, Father, we take this moment to stand still, to remember the great things that you have done for this nation. Thank you for the protection, the bounty, the freedoms that we so enjoy.
I like this part.
We remember to keep
Yay,
our
freedom.
eyes fixed on you, and may our hearts be inclined to your voice. We know that America can never be great again if we turn our backs on you. We ask for your help, and we pray all of this in the name of the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, your Son, my Savior, and our Redeemer, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Associate Justice Kavanaugh to administer the
first
Vice
prayer was
Presidential
better.
Oath of Office.
It felt more sincere. I don't know. Here we go. Oath of office. This is what we came to see, boys. What we came to see. Pay attention to the oath. This is important. Okay? This is important.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear
I, James David
I didn't know his first name was James, gang.
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the
Biden
office
does look sad.
on which I am
Yeah.
about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Vice President.
It's interesting that they do the vice president first. You'd think it'd be the opposite. It's an important oath. Gang, I hope he keeps it. I hope he keeps it. I do. You goobers. Yes, he said discharge. It's not weird. It's just what you say.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
You guys are
welcome
porn
Chief
brain.
Justice Roberts to administer the Presidential Oath of Office.
But yeah, I think they'd do the president first, right? I don't know. Here we go. Or maybe. Oh, they're changing out who gets to do it.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
There it is. It's official. We have a new president. Here we are. Those are supposed to happen. It's not an attack, don't worry. I think it's like a 21 gun salute or something. I don't know. But that was meant to happen. Don't worry about the gunshots. Yeah. What are we feeling right now, gang? How are we feeling? What do we think? Is he gonna give a speech after, you think? So we got disappointment, disgust, good, very good. Yeah, freaked me out for disgusting. Another disgust. Here, let's take a poll. Here, I'll start a poll. How are we feeling? I'm waiting to see if there's gonna be a speech. I'll turn it down for now, but yeah, how we feeling, gang? I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried. I hope I am wrong. Look, here's the thing. We talked about this before. Oh, there's more songs. You guys want to do the bops? Lord, He is stamping out the vintage where the great of wrath are stored. He has loosed the faithful lightning of His terrible swift sword. The truth is marching on. Hallelujah. Oh man, I don't know the timing of this. It's weird. Like, why can't they just sing it normal? Why do they have to make it fancy? Not a bad singing voice, man. Look, if it's within my range, I can get it. But the problem is, I don't have a very good range. So it's very narrow. If you got me in my range, I got you, baby. Okay? If it's outside my range or if I'm not familiar with it, I can't do that, right? Rabid Wombat says narrator says the song was not in Rick's range. What? You didn't like that? You didn't like that music? Oh, okay. Well. Yeah, okay. An ad. No, Cal Mike says, as of 2 minutes ago, the economy is amazing again. Mark it down. Yeah, are we allowed to say the economy's good now? Are we allowed? Is that something we can do? Can we admit that we're in a pretty good place as a nation? Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Give me a second. I'm getting DMs. I'm getting a bunch from different people. Oh, shit. Well, someone's coming forward in the Destiny stuff. Not related, but damn. Okay, well, do what you gotta do. Okay, yeah, that was something I was just DM'd. Yeah. Let the courts have their say. Let the courts have their say in that. Sorry, I just saw the, Look, I'm trying to cover the inauguration here, not drama, okay? But yeah, that's damn. Okay. That's okay. It's on Twitter. It's public. Go check. Good song. Good song. Yay. Yay. Oh, man. Oh, man. What do you guys want to do right now? I'm tempted. Okay, are we going to get more speeches? This takes priority. This is what we planned. But if there are no speeches, I do want to cover this. We'll see. We'll give it a minute. See if there are more speeches, right? See if you're following things.
It is my honor
Here we go.
and pleasure to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Let's see what he has to say. We'll see what Tony says. We'll cover the drama after, gang. Don't worry. Let's get to this first. Do you like my hoodie? Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Well, thank you very, very much. Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune, Chief Justice Roberts, Justices of the United States Supreme Court, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
Can't believe his middle name is gone. I know!
Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end. And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free. America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before. I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country, sunlight is pouring over the entire world, and America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America.
His word choice is always so weird.
Today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly
Brother, you did a meme coin.
Disrepair.
You just extracted a lot of wealth from people.
That cannot manage even a simple crisis at home. while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country
Yeah,
from
he's
all
hitting
over
on the
world.
immigration thing.
We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver
$5
basic
from
services
Survival's
in times
Adventures.
of
Do a good job
emergency,
with.
as
Thank you.
recently shown by the wonderful
Thank you for $5.
people of North Carolina, been treated so badly. And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn. From weeks ago, without even a token of defense, they're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most
not
powerful
even a token of
individuals in our
defense?
country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is
It's interesting?
unable to do anything about it. That's going to change.
Come on.
We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to
Firefighters
be ashamed of
tried to do the
themselves in
best
many
job they could in
cases,
LA. Let's
to
be
hate
clear.
our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly.
We'll see.
My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
I hope that's true. I don't know if it is true.
Our liberties and our nation's glorious
I worry that
destiny
it's not.
will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history.
I don't know.
And
Lincoln
I've
might have.
learned a lot along the
Lincoln
way.
might have a word for
The
this.
journey to
Right.
reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear.
Yeah, that was bad.
But I
They
felt
shouldn't have
then
done
and
that.
believe even more so now that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
I don't. You guys are going to say I have TDS. You are. You're going to say it. This is not a good speech.
Thank you very much.
There's a way to say things like this in a unifying way, in a way to bring us together, in a way to make us a nation. This is not it.
That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
I didn't feel in prison.
It is my hope that our recent presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country. As our victory showed, the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda with dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural, and very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states, and the popular vote, we won by millions of people.
That's true. I mean, I would take issue with powerful
To
win,
the black and Hispanic
it was a win.
communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true.
I mean, I hope you will. Yeah, I hope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
National unity is now returning to America, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution, and we will not forget our God. Can't do that. Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders.
Just pay attention.
With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense.
What are the orders, please?
First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
That was expected. What does that mean, though? What is the result of that? You declare the emergency to what, precisely?
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy.
Okay.
I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
That is going to have interesting consequences. It allows for certain actions. Do you guys think there's going to be military strikes against them from our military? I wonder if he's pushing for that.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities. As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
How?
The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
I don't. So Trump, if you guys remember, spent a ton of that national debt, he raked it up. Also, drilling. President Biden enabled more drilling than he did.
Once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it. We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again, right to the top, and export American energy all over the world. We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet that will help to do it.
I have no issue with drilling.
With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal, and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers. In other words, you'll be able to buy the car of your choice. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that nobody could have dreamt possible just a few years ago. And thank you to the auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with their vote. I will immediately begin the overhaul of our trade system to protect American workers and families. Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens.
Hold on. Tariffs. Okay. If he actually does this,
for this purpose,
you better love the economy now, because that's the best you're going to get.
External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources.
No, it's not.
The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before to restore competence and effectiveness to our federal government. My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Oh, jeez, oh, man. If you want, look, start now. Start putting your money into solid assets now.
After years and
These
years
tariffs
of
are going
illegal
to
and
destroy us.
unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
Cool. You going to stop your lawsuit against Ann Seltzer? Great if you do it. I don't believe you will. Great if he'll actually do this. I don't think he will. But let's see.
Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Something I know something about. We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law.
I think that's going to actually happen.
And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities. This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay.
That's an interesting one.
And I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately.
What? Radical political theories? Look, I was in the military. I haven't been in the military for a while.
Our armed forces will be freed to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies.
Look, I was in the Air Force for 6 years. Part of why, while he was president, part of why Obama was president, I didn't... Like, did they change things? Like, I was never subject to really experimentation. I did have to take the flu shots and stuff. We didn't have the COVID stuff back then, but we were mandated to take flu shots. We were mandated to take all sorts of vaccines.
Like in
it was never an issue.
2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen.
We had that.
We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that
what
as
you've
of
said
yesterday,
today is
one
not
day
unifying.
before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families. Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name
retarded
of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
The Gulf of Mexico thing's retarded. That's retarded. Is that what you're gonna... Oh.
President McKinley...
It's not even bad. It's just dumb. There's
tariffs,
nothing wrong with it, I
talent.
guess. It's just
He was
dumb.
a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made, and Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form, and that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
As last I heard, the I don't know what they're called, the president of Panama. I don't know if they're a chancellor. I don't know. They've said that's not happening. So are you going to do this by force, Mr. President?
Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality
I ain't dying for
of
Panama.
history's greatest civilization.
I ain't going to die for Panama.
So
I'm not going to die in some fucking
nation,
war in
we
Panama.
will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
That was unexpected.
Ambition
This
is
is
the
an Elon
lifeblood
thing.
of a great nation. And right now our nation
I like
is
Mars.
more ambitious than any other.
I don't have a problem with
There's
this,
no
actually.
nation like
The Mars
our
thing.
nation.
Cool.
Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed
Proximo will
thousands
be
of
talking about
miles
that
through a
after
rugged
this.
land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm.
I don't think they take Discover here.
Oh no!
Discover.
Oh no!
It's accepted in 99%
Ads!
of places.
They got us, gang.
Found a flight.
I don't
on
care.
another app.
Oh.
We forgive
Yeah. Ads. Man, they got us. Oh, I was like, oh, they're gonna let this run ad free. Here we go. We're back. We missed the part. We missed where he said, and with TV, we're gonna find you. We missed that part. I don't know what he's gonna find us for, but.
I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We are going to win like never before. Thank you.
We'll see.
Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We will be prosperous. We will be proud. We will be strong, and we will win like never before. We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken, and we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly, and nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, gang.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Is that the speech? Are we good? Do we have any other speeches to go over? Here, he's just, thank you. Is he going to keep going, or is he done? What do you guys think? Oh, he's just thank you. What do you guys think of that speech? I didn't like it. I didn't think it was unifying. He's like, well, he's not supposed to be unifying. On this day, he should.
Performing America the Beautiful.
On this day, he should. Okay. That's the, here, I'll keep this on in the background, just in case, right? In case someone else comes on to give a speech that we want to talk about and things like that. Let's go over a few things of what he said there, right? He really hit hard on the immigration notes. Declaring an emergency on the southern border. The rumors that he would sign executive orders and also direct people to do deportations in sanctuary cities, at least based on that speech, seemed to be what he's going to do. What do we think? What are we thinking? I don't look. Immigration is an issue. We should be tougher on the border. But I worry that this is going to be an over-the-top response. That it is simply going to bring brutality where we do not need to use brutality. He also talked about making the cartels, designating them as terrorist groups. This opens up a range of possibilities. $10 from Psychonaut to say, just here to pay my WIC TV tariff. Thank you for the tariff. That's the most concerning bit to me. We'll get to that in a second. Talking about the designation of the cartels as terrorists does imply that there's going to be some sort of strikes on them from the military. At least it's a first step if you want to start to do something like that. That would be the first step to do it, to use drones or things like that. If you wanted to drone strike a cartel person, right, in Mexico, that would be the first step you would do. You would designate them as terrorist organization, and then you would proceed. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but it is a step towards that. Conservative liberalism says, I don't think it necessitates kinetic action. It could be a way to financially cripple them by pressuring Mexico. That's also a possibility. We'll see. It does, again, like I said, it opens options. So we'll find out. He also spoke of the tariffs. Gang, I don't think you understand how, if they are implemented as he says he wants to implement them, that is going to be devastating to our economy. That is going to devastate our local economy. It is. It's going to be a problem. This is something that don't listen to just me here. Listen to the Cato Institute. It's a pretty right-wing organization, right? Listen to almost every economist out there. These tariffs are a tool, but they are a tool that needs to be applied selectively and narrowly. They can work, but they generally don't. We see a lot of recent problems of tariffs, the ones that Trump did back in 2018, 2017, that area, those didn't work. They made things more expensive. The Obama tariffs, those made things more expensive, right? Like, all the recent tariffs in recent years have done is drive up prices for Americans. Like, he talked about how it's not going to tax us, it's going to tax foreign countries. That's not how tariffs work. The foreign country doesn't pay the tariff, we do. So if an American company wants to get steel from a foreign source, they have to pay extra to do that. The people selling them the steel don't have to pay. It's the people buying the steel that have to pay, right? And it's going to be a problem. We'll see the details, says Jim Smith. Yeah, like, we have to absolutely see the details. But again, based on what he says, which is the only thing I can go on, man, it's a real problem. I will say one thing I liked, though. One thing that I'm actually positive for, okay? I liked one part of the speech, okay? I liked the Mars thing. I know you guys don't like the Mars. I like the Mars thing. I think we should do more space stuff. I want to go to Mars, or I want to send people to Mars, specifically people I don't like. But no, Mars, great, awesome. Let's do that. Developing the technology to get to Mars is going to be a benefit to the nation. Space exploration is something that will benefit humanity, absolutely, and that's good. I like that. Let's get a Mars base going, and a moon base too. Hell yeah. So I did like that portion. Another worrying thing was the Panama Canal. Look, if we want the Panama Canal and we want to buy it back, or if we want to kind of use diplomatic pressure, okay. But last I heard, I haven't checked in a week or two. Keep that in mind. Last I heard, Panama doesn't want to give it back. So what happens when they say no? The question I have for President Trump is this. If Panama says no, rejects your overtures, rejects your pressure, are you going to use military force? I am 100% against using military force to take the Panama Canal back. 100% against. And if he does that I feel is condemnable. He promised us he's wanted to be a peaceful president. Starting new wars isn't how you do that, right? That's a problem. Anything else that he covered that you, dear viewer, what things did you find interesting about the speech? Yeah, we're done with the inauguration stuff, gang. We're done with that. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm looking something up. Because we have something else to cover, it looks like. We won't cover it a lot. But it needs to be discussed. Oh, the two gender thing. That feels like a virtue signal. I don't know if that's going to have a thing. And yeah, the military experiments, that was weird. I don't understand what he, like, Trumpers in chat. What is he talking about there? What does that, what matters here? Okay. I'm very curious. Hold on. Let me readjust my screens, get it back to where I normally have them so I can read them properly and I can see them properly. So give me a moment, please. Let me get things situated and set up. Back how I like it. Okay. We can see you got. Did I see? Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about in a second here, okay? Give me a moment. Let me get it up. Let me look at it, right? Yeah. The Biden pardons, we talked about that earlier. Well, let's talk about it. We got to cover it. Here we go. So, that's the inauguration, gang. We now have a new president of the United States. While Trump was giving his speech, I was linked to something, a tweet, and we're gonna read it. Let's go to it. And we won't be covering this a lot. I'm going to be clear, right? I don't do this kind of drama thing, but this is something that is news, and it is something that the person who is impacted is coming out about. It deserves to be covered a little. And here we go. So Pixie. We know Pixie. We like Pixie. Pixie's been on our show. On November 29th, the streamer Destiny non-consensually shared my nudes, making me a victim of revenge porn. I'll be suing him in federal court. A link to their story, which I've clicked on. I'm going to be clear, real clear. I am not a judge. I am not a jury. I am not able to make any kind of legal takes on this. But if this is correct, and if Pixie's telling the truth here, this is very bad for Destiny, right? This is extremely bad for Destiny. It was not okay what he did. He should not have done it. There are a court system for a reason. It should and will go through the court system. And yeah. May justice be done. May justice be done. Are we sure that... No, this is Pixie's account. It is verified. This isn't like... I don't think she got hacked or nothing. I think this is real. What do we think, gang? When was that tweet? That tweet was today at 11:44 a.m. I just saw it during the inauguration, though. And obviously, we're covering the inauguration first. That's a problem, right? I'm not gonna look at any leaked text or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, let's read her Substack on it. Let's go through. Again, we won't. I'm not a drama channel. I'm sure that there will be many who try to monetize it. I will also say this. While I'm talking about this, Please do not donate to me. I don't know how to turn off my stuff, or I would. But I don't want to make money off of this. This isn't something to monetize. So wait till after we're done before you give me any money. Let me go through it. Let me read what Pixie has to say, and we'll talk about it. Sound good? We won't do this much. If Pixie or Destiny or anyone wants to talk about it with me, they may, but I'm not going to seek them out to do so. Does that make sense? I'm not going to try to make content out of this. But again, this is something that it's there. It's out there. It would be weird to ignore it. So let's go through. Cool? Well, this is important, gang. Like, it's worth talking about. So let's look at it. Yeah, look, and honestly, gang, it's not a good idea if you're having a court date to come on stream and talk about your court shit. It's probably not a good idea. But let's read what she already said on her Substack. I will be suing Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II. On November 29th, I learned that the streamer Destiny had non-consensually shared pornographic content of me online. My dignity, peace of mind, and hopes for the future were stripped away in a mere matter of seconds following the betrayal of someone I previously trusted. I am at least the third person he has done this to. I hope to be the last. I will not be commenting on the experience of the other women he has hurt, as it is not my place or story to tell. I will, however, share my story in the hopes of preventing this from occurring again. I've known Destiny for around 5 to 6 years now, and often find myself in heavy disagreement with him. Despite this, I do my best to see the best side of all people, trying my hardest to spread positivity and create understanding where I can. It's corny, but I want to meet people where they are and focus on which ways we can build bridges together towards a better future for everyone. Some people call this a fault of mine. They claim I am naive and should be more careful. Those people are right. When I was 19, over 5 years ago, I was extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered. Being severely terrified of leading someone on or sexual assault, I thought I could trust Destiny, who I had multiple long conversations with regarding consent and boundaries. So you can imagine my surprise when I discovered he distributed pornographic content of me without my consent. Yes, you read that right. Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II sent pornographic content of me to a random 19-year-old e-girl Discord kitten whom he had never met before, and then she published it to the whole world. Rest assured, despite never having met her, he at least spoke to her plenty of times on the phone. Of course, this is what he says happened. I think it is just as likely that he used her as a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability. I do not understand why Destiny would knowingly and willingly put me in a position where I would receive nonstop sexual abuse and harassment. If we believe him, he was trying to impress a barely legal teenager using my body and my privacy. The betrayal, coupled with the hundreds of messages I've received, filled with sexual harassment and abuse, have left me feeling hopeless and devoid of almost all happiness. The only thing that has kept me going is the hope that I can bring this man to justice and have him face legal consequences for his actions. For the past month, I have been speaking to lawyers about my situation and what to do, and have decided that this is the best course of action. I will be suing him for violating U.S. Federal Code 15 U.S.C. 6851, civil action relating to disclosure of intimate images and for publication of private facts in Florida. I will be seeking emotional and punitive damages for his actions. I have been told that a court case like this could potentially cost over tens of thousands of dollars. I am terrified. I mean, this guy talks about potentially suing Hassan as if for fun, and Hassan actually has the resources to defend himself. I cannot imagine what he might try to do to me in this process. Sometimes I wonder if he does this as an intimidation tactic. I wonder if he is purposely trying to put fear into my heart when he casually talks about throwing money into a lawsuit with a multimillionaire who can fight back. As if it's an indirect flaunt/warning over his capability of outspending me in whatever legal case I throw at him. At the request of my friends, I have been encouraged to link my Give, Send, Go regarding this case here. Give, Send, Go. Is that? Oh, it's right there. You guys see it? If you want to click on it or whatever. There it is. In hopes that we can raise enough for me to legally succeed. Whoever the next Joe Rogan of the left is, it cannot be someone that crosses sexual boundaries, violates consent, and puts women's well-being and safety at risk. It cannot be someone who puts women in positions where they will be sexually abused and harassed. It concerns me that Destiny has been interviewing potential DNC chair candidates such as Marianne Williamson or Martin O'Malley, who have no idea of what he's done. As time passes and he tries to position himself to have interviews with increasingly powerful figures such as Zelensky, I can't help but be filled with fear that Destiny might continue to succeed, despite facing no repercussions for his actions. If the Democratic Party wishes to succeed in the future, it cannot be a party that accepts the sexual exploitation of women. It cannot be a party that allows men like Destiny to break into the mainstream, for allowing him to access to such spaces would be a direct endorsement of his behavior. I have been told that the payout might not be worth the harassment and attention I will receive. In an ideal world, I would do this privately, but I've been told there is no realistic way the court will grant me anonymity. This means my only option is public. I've been told by a variety of people to not go public. I've been told by some people that Stephen really does feel sorry, but I am not inclined to believe them, especially taking into consideration his actions regarding me. Regardless, what Destiny did is unacceptable, and I believe he will do this again unless he faces justice. Let me be clear. Destiny has violated federal law and his transgressions against me. He has violated my consent, is directly responsible for my sexual abuse I have received. I am terrified. There you go, gang. Her words. If this is true, and I have no reason to doubt it is, I believe I've met Pixie. I know Pixie. She doesn't seem like a liar. She doesn't strike me as a liar. It is unacceptable. I don't defend indefensible behavior. If Destiny did this in the way that was sent, it is unacceptable, and he should face consequences. I am not a judge. I am not a court. I am not the one to give him consequences for this, right? And I do believe people can repent and be better. One thing I will say, that I do hope Destiny repents of this and does be better. Again, I'm not a court. I'm not a judge. I'm not these people. I'm not their parents. I'm not anything. I'm just a guy, okay, who's talked to them both. If this is true, and if Destiny did it, Destiny should say, yeah, I fucked up. And I will pay the damages. I will make restitution. That's the path, right? That's the path. Please, do not. It is not my place. It is not your place to harass anyone involved in this. Not Pixie, not Destiny, not the people covering it. No one. No one deserves harassment for this, right? We're not here to get the bad guy or anything like that. What we're doing here is Pixie wants peace. The H3 show says, are you done sweeping? I just joined. How am I sweeping? What is this sweeping? I am saying, don't harass anyone. That's not sweeping. It's not our place to punish. Our place, again, we report on this thing. Okay? Pixie gave her statement. We'll see what Destiny has to say. Gang, if what Pixie is saying is true, a line has been crossed and restitution is due. That's frankly it. No harassment. None. Do not. Check DMs. Hold up. What am I looking at DMs for? Oh, yeah, people are already coming at her. Yeah. Will this affect how I interact with him? if you're asking, will I still have him on my show? Yeah, I might. I've had Nazis on my show, gang. Okay. I am not. Free speech is free speech, even for those people who have done terrible things. Will this mean that, like, I'm gonna, like, be comfortable around him with my female friends? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will also not cover for him. I will not defend him. I will not stay silent on this, right? I'm not going to not talk about it because it'll make him uncomfortable. So, you know, that is what it is, right? Oh, Parallax, thank you for the 25-month sub. Thank you. The H3 show says, that's different, though. Destiny may prey on the females you invite on your panel. What do you guys expect to have? Like, do you think that because a woman is on my show and Destiny happens to be on that same show that it's going to lead to sexual assault? I mean, maybe, but that won't have anything to do with them being on my show or not. Again, I'm not going to cover this up. I'm not going to hide this. People will be able to make their own decisions. And it is sad. It is sad. I am disappointed. I am disappointed. This is unacceptable behavior, frankly. The Scored One says, wait, am I missing the receipts that are making Wick completely trust Pixie over Destiny? I'm not going to read the leaked DMs. It's on the site. I don't do the DM stuff, right? You can go to her Substack. She has links to them. But I'm not, I just don't like covering leaked stuff, right? Ew. Yeah, apologies the least that he could do. But yeah, again, the courts will make this decision. I'm not here to make a... Yeah, the courts will decide, frankly. Can I encourage my audience not to send nudes? Yeah, don't send nudes. Especially not to people you don't trust. Or people who have demonstrated themselves to be untrusted. Is this criminal or civil court? It did not say. I don't know. Zero Fuck says, I called it 5 minutes ago, but I think Destiny survives this. Maybe. Again, do I think we should destroy Destiny over this? No. But Pixie does deserve, if this is true, if Pixie is telling the truth, she deserves restitution. Yes, absolutely. And she deserves her day in court. It's her decision. It's not mine. It's no one else's. Cool? Any questions? Any questions for me? I don't know. I'm not any of these people, right? So I can't do that, but yeah. And if her court case fails, the courts have decided, right? Rabid Wombat says, you read out a DM, a super chat, before on a previous show that commented on this topic while he was a guest. Would you do so again going forward, knowing he has a pending legal action against him? So what I won't do is I won't pretend to be the judge. Like, I would not invite Pixie on and Destiny on and make them argue for my audience's entertainment on this. That would be unacceptable. That's unacceptable behavior. Anyone who's trying to do that is pretty scummy. If either of them wanted to come on and talk about it, I would encourage them not to. But if they insist, they insist. But yeah, you shouldn't. If there's pending legal action, you should not be going on streams about this. You should not be talking about this on streams. That is just bad idea. That is a bad idea. But Wick, think about the money. Look. It's okay, Rabbit. It was a super chat. The H3 show says, Wick, you seriously think that there's a scenario where Destiny suffers no damage and Pixie gets justice at the same time? The damage will be decided by the courts. The courts will decide what has to happen here. Again, if the courts decide that Pixie is telling the truth and they award Pixie, there will be damages and restitution decided by the courts. Let the courts do this. Here's a problem I have in general, and I'll say this. We act as judge, jury, and executioner in these spaces far too much. This should not be decided in the court of public opinion. This shouldn't be decided. This shouldn't be something where people go to go public first and then go to the courts, right? That shouldn't be what happens. They should go to the courts first, and then if they want to talk about it publicly, they can. Too often, when something terrible happens to us, instead of going to the authorities, we go to Twitter, and we should stop that. Twitter's not gonna be a good spot. It's not gonna be a good spot, right? It's not gonna go well. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't help anyone. Tessie Johnson says, we did that for Vosh. You removed him from the Discord. Vosh is not removed from the Discord. Vosh is still in my Discord. He's just been content rolled. But he was with kids, which is different, right? And Vosh is allowed on my show. He just doesn't come on my show, but he's allowed. Yeah. The H3 show said you shouldn't say. The H3 says this. You just said Destiny shouldn't be destroyed, e.g., not suffer consequences. No, that's the last part is the part you're adding. Do you think the only consequence is total destruction? Should we go out back and shoot him in the head? Should we put him against the wall, make him kneel down, shoot him in the head, rape his corpse? No, obviously not. Don't be weird, right? The courts decide what's going to happen to the guy. Let the courts decide. An appropriate punishment will be given. I am a system truster in this. When will Kirby Fine and Sad Kit Kat be returning? They want to come back at some point, right? Whenever they want. We can judge morally. You absolutely can. Judge however you wish. I'm not here to defend the indefensible. If Destiny did this, if this is true, it is indefensible. That's true. That said, I mean, what else can be said? What else can be said about this? Fargo Lefty says, it's not illegal to be immoral. There are some things that have to get handled outside the courts. Well, this one's being handled in the court, and Pixie is handling it in the court. Let Pixie handle it. Right? Too many people... She does say something else in her tweet, and I think it's important to highlight this. If you were a leftist who has talked about this situation without so much as contacting me, you owe me an apology. On top of being a victim of revenge porn, I now have to deal with people lying about my dating life and further dehumanization of me. The only reason we're talking about this today is because she made a statement that she put it out so people would read it, and I am directing your attention towards it. That's it. Cool. Yep, she made it public. So it is public. But what she's referring to is the people who are going and gossiping in the rumor mill, who are going there, ginning up rumors, all sorts of falsehoods, right? And this is a problem. Now we have to sift what actually happened versus what all the rumors are about, right? And I've heard various ones. So the only thing that we should be talking about are the things that Pixie says in Pixie's report. That's it. Frozen Knight says Sunday put out a video 4 hours ago about Destiny. That alone makes me suspect some things here. So putting this out seems planned. And if that video talks about some of these things, I have no idea what President Sunday has done or does not do. That's up to him. President Sunday is also not a reliable source, nor someone I would trust to cover this in any way accurately. So yeah, but hopefully you guys trust me. I will tell you the truth as I see it. And this is the truth. Okay. So what are we thinking? Is that it? Any other thoughts on this? Any other? Because this isn't something we're gonna have show after show after show about. It's just not. So according to Destiny, and I'll read his side of the story here. There's not much yet, but if I'm going to cover one, I'll cover both. Destiny will be making a post or a statement within the next couple of hours. Until then, all posts will be removed and locked regarding the civil suit. So we'll wait. We'll see. See what he has to say for himself. That's all we can do. Okay, wow, what a day, gang. We got a new president, same as the president we had a few years ago. Oh, and these, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Not a good day. I am disappointed. Najay says it seems like most of the people in this chat already had their minds made up about Destiny and are now reveling in the fact that they were accidentally correct. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Have some ice cream and cuddle with the doggy. It's a little too cold for ice cream, and I'm out of ice cream, or I would. But no, it's just disappointing. I don't expect perfection from people. I don't. But they're just, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that isn't like crazy. That hasn't been taking crazy pills. I don't know. Not to I don't know. Yeah, it's just it sucks. Yeah, Voltits, that's true. I think people need to remember that we have only been given one side of the story. That being said, it is unacceptable behavior. Yeah. Well, we'll see what Destiny has to say. It's very possible Destiny just comes out and says, yeah, I'm sorry, and I apologize. And look, if Destiny says that, credit where it's due. That doesn't make up for it. It's not enough. But that will be the start, right? I think that's a good start. But again, we don't know, right? Maybe this was all fabric. Like, who knows, right? We'll see what Destiny has to say. We'll see what acts. Well, yeah, we'll see. Too cold for ice cream is now the worst take of the stream. Fair. Okay, fair. Look, it's just, I'm sad. Why can't we just be good people? Why? Again, you don't have to be perfect, but let's strive for goodness here. Why should I care about what he said or did again? I mean, you don't have to. I do. I care because I'm a Pixie fan, gang. Pixie is someone I've worked with before. Right? She was in PV with us. I've met her. She's a very nice and sweet girl. She doesn't deserve any of this. Okay? Yeah, we had the awkward Riz stream we did with her. And she was such a good sport. So you already think he is guilty? I am inclined to believe Pixie, but I don't know. I am cool with... What are you talking about? Corn one, why are you trying to do this? What are you doing here? I don't know if Destiny is guilty or not. I don't. The courts will decide. Am I cool with Destiny? Yeah. Am I cool with Pixie? Yeah. But Destiny, it looks, again, if what Pixie said is true, Destiny has wronged Pixie in a very serious way. A very serious way. And she deserves restitution for that. That's it. That isn't me. I don't understand. Like, what is this need that people have for me either to be like... So we've had two types in the chat so far. We've had the people like the H3 show say, you should want him dead. You should want to drive him out and put a stake through his heart. No. And there's people like, you should not believe Pixie at all. She's obviously like lying. No. Stop. Stop this. Stop this team sportsification of serious issues. This is a serious issue. Let's take it seriously. We will know what Destiny has to say for himself in a couple hours. Then we'll see. It's called team sports, and it's how the internet operations. Yeah. Wick, look at the DMs she posted. I'm not going to go over the leaked DMs on screen. I've looked at them, though. If they're legit, it's not good. Spaniard, sup, bro? How are you? Long time no see. It's been a day. Okay, not a good day, but here we are. Am I fair in saying you're basically in the middle, but leaning more to Pixie? Like, I believe I believe Pixie here. Yeah, and until I get information otherwise, I think Pixie's correct. But I don't know what should be the appropriate retaliation. That's not the restitution. I don't know, and the courts will decide, and Pixie will decide that for herself, what she wants, right? Pixie will decide that. That's not for me to decide. Pixie was wronged. Pixie was the one that had something done to her. I didn't get anything. No one sexually assaulted me. Pixie gets to decide all that. If Pixie is lying and Destiny proves she's lying, then we can have a different discussion. And I will be very disappointed in Pixie. But we'll see. Right? Vesman says at least Wick is honest with his bias. I just don't... I mean, like, this is what I see. I don't know. It would be surprising to me. I would be shocked if this was all fabricated. Yeah, Voltix. I don't think she's lying. I'm waiting to hear Destiny's side because it's possible there's more to it. Yeah. See. Both sides deserve to be heard. You can say that. Tessie Johnson says, Wick, I appreciate you trying to do the right thing and speak to your principles despite me showing my own outrage at the situation. If he did this, you should be outraged, right? This is bad. This is terrible, reprehensible, indefensible behavior. Absolutely. 100%. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about it. And this is, people always come at me with Lex Friedman stuff too. Like when Lex says things that they think are terrible. They're like, why are you still friends with Lex even though he said terrible things? Because you don't abandon people who are your friends, or you don't abandon people because they do something wrong sometimes. You just don't. That's not how you fix things. That's not how you get, how anyone gets better. I think that people need off-ramps for their own bad behavior. Again, Pixie deserves restitution if this is true. And if this happened, Pixie deserves restitution and she'll get it through court. Right? And I hope she gets it if this is what actually happened. I hope she succeeds. But I'm not one to, I don't know, I don't do that with people. Right? A lot of people are asking me, right, about the Lex Friedman thing, because I guess Lex made some comments that were inappropriate. And I listened to these comments, and they were. I disagree with what Lex said about the Zelensky interview. I disagree with it. I don't think what he said was okay, right? It's how he feels, though. And it's no. Let's be clear, it's nowhere near the same level as what Destiny is accused of here. It's not even same universe. Okay, let's just make that clear right off the top of the head, right? But yeah, it sucks, right? That I can think what someone did was inappropriate and still not like cast them aside. Does that make sense? $5 from Audacity. Feck all this sad shit. Wicker's barbecue when? Okay, when you guys do that. Yeah. What did Lex say? He said that I'd have to find the clip. I don't have the clip on me, but I saw a clip earlier today about it, and that was sad. But I think we can win Lex back. I think we will win him over. I will say this about Lex Friedman. He is an honest actor. He really is. And he believes what he says. And he actually thinks these things. I think he's wrong here, but, that is what it is. A little bit says Lex is not honest at all. I disagree with you heavily. I think he is. Can you paraphrase? He said that what Zelensky said in the interview was inappropriate. That's what he said. He said that he had crosswords for Putin and he shouldn't have had crosswords for Putin. Something like that. You can find the clips. They're out there. Like Rizia says, like you hail fire and brimstone when you see someone acting immoral and really wrong, people supporting Hamas. Where's that fire with Lex? So people supporting Hamas specifically is much different because Lex isn't supporting Putin. What Lex wants is he has, and you can call it naive, and it is, this idea that there should be a peace accord. That is a fundamentally different thing than the people who think Jews need to die. And that's why I have one reaction to one and a different reaction to the other. Does that explain it? Simple. One, naive, want for peace. The other wants to kill all the Jews. Yes, I am going to treat these two things differently. And I'm going to have a different reaction to these two things. Absolutely. Exactly, aka Batozai. Speaking ill of Putin isn't inappropriate. I agree with you. I disagree with Lex. But it is not the same as supporting Hamas. It's not even near the same as supporting Hamas. Lev Laugh Logan says, now that America is saved again, what do you want to do? What I want to do is I want to hold Trump accountable to his promises. What I want to do is Trump has made some promises. He's going to make America great again. Let's hold him to account for that. He said that he's going to release the Epstein list. Let's see if he does. He said he's going to lower inflation and lower prices. Let's see if he does. And if he doesn't, I would hope that you would hold him to account for that, correct? Yes? A little bit says, did Destiny rape someone or not? That's not the accusation. That is not the accusation, let's be clear. Pixie never said that. Rabid Wombat says, why would we hold him to account? You just said you were going to. You're Canadian. You don't count, right? Look, if Trump invades and takes over Canada, I might actually vote for him next time, right? We'll see. Okay, we're going to have a show tonight. It was supposed to be on moderation, but depending on what, I don't know what it's going to be on. We're gonna have Sonsel here. We're gonna have Average Debate Enjoyer. We're gonna have a show. I don't know what it'll be about. It'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern. Cool. Cool. I did vote for Kamala, and I'd do it again. Wow. Okay. What a show. Okay. Where are we going? Who's streaming? Straight into Nina. What a show. Yeah. A lot happened. Host to Destiny? Is he streaming right now? I don't think he is he? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. See you guys later. Bye.